Lesson number 1, Thursday, September 29th. The Spread of Unbelief. Revelation 12, 7-9, and verses 12 says, "And there was war in heaven, Michael and his angels waging war with the dragon. The dragon and his angels waged war, and they were not strong enough, and there was no longer a place found for them in heaven. And the great dragon was thrown down, the serpent of old, who was called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, Now the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of Christ have come. For the accuser of our brethren has been thrown down, he who accuses them before our God day and night. And they overcame him because of the blood of the Lamb and because of the word of their testimony, and they did not love their life even when faced with death. For this reason, rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them. Woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, knowing that he has only a short time." Verse 17. So the dragon was enraged with the woman, and went off to make war with the rest of her children, who keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus. What does this chapter teach about the spread of the rebellion in heaven to the earth? The fall of Lucifer was not a simple clash of conflicting ideas. Revelation 12 tells us that a major war broke out in heaven between Lucifer and his angels on one side, and Christ and his angels on the other. In this passage, Lucifer is called the great dragon, the serpent of old, the devil and Satan, and the accuser of our brethren. Christ is referred to as Michael, which means who is like God. Based on the allusion to Michael the archangel, Jude 9, some interpreters believe that he is only an angelic being. But in the book of Daniel, each major vision culminates with Christ and his everlasting kingdom, as a stone cut out without hands, as a son of man, as the prince of the most and the prince of princesses, and as Michael the great prince. So, as the angel of the Lord is the Lord himself, Michael must be the same divine person, i.e., Christ himself. Revelation 12 provided a general overview of this ongoing controversy which, number 1, began in heaven with the rebellion of Lucifer and 1/3 of the heavenly angels. Number 2, culminated with Christ's decisive victory at the cross. And 3, still continues against God's end-time remnant people. In the book, The Great Controversy, page 495 and 6, reflecting on the beginning of this controversy, Ellen G. White explains that God, in his great mercy, bore along with Lucifer. He was not immediately degraded from his exalted station when he first indulged the spirit of discontent, nor even when he began to present his false claims before the loyal angels. Long was he retained in heaven. Again and again he was offered pardon on condition of repentance and submission. We do not know how long that war lasted in the heavenly realms. Regardless of its intensity and time span, the most important aspect of the whole struggle was that Satan and his angels were defeated, and there was no longer any place for them in heaven. The problem, of course, was that they came here, to the earth. What are ways in which we can see the reality of this battle being played out on the earth? What is our only hope to overcome our enemy in this battle? From the book Early Writings, page 146, it says, "After Satan and those who fell with him were shut out of heaven, and he realized that he had forever lost all its purity and glory, he repented and wished to be reinstated in heaven. He was willing to take his proper place or any position that might be assigned him, but no, heaven must not be placed in jeopardy. All heaven might be marred should he be taken back, for sin originated with him, and the seeds of rebellion were within him. Both he and his followers wept and implored to be taken back into the favor of God. But their sin, their hatred, their envy and jealousy had been so great that God could not blot it out. It must remain to receive its final punishment. And from the book The Desire of Ages, page 324, it says, when the soul surrenders itself to Christ, a new power takes possession of the new heart. A change is wrought which man can never accomplish for himself. It is a supernatural work, bringing a supernatural element into human nature. The soul that is yielded to Christ becomes his own fortress, which he holds in a revolted world, and he intends that no authority shall be known in it but his own. A soul thus kept in possession by the heavenly agencies is impregnable to the assaults of Satan. But unless we do yield ourselves to the control of Christ, we shall be dominated by the wicked one. We must inevitably be under the control of the one or the other of the two great powers that are contending for the supremacy of the world. It is not necessary for us to deliberately choose the service of the kingdom of darkness in order to come under its dominion. We have only to neglect to ally ourselves with the kingdom of light. If we do not cooperate with the heavenly agencies, Satan will take possession of the heart and will make it his abiding place. The only defense against evil is the indwelling of Christ in the heart through faith in his righteousness. Unless we become vitally connected with God, we can never resist the unhallowed effects of self-love, self-indulgence, and temptation to sin. We may leave off many bad habits. For the time we may part company with Satan, but without a vital connection with God, through the surrender of ourselves to him, moment by moment, we shall be overcome. God bless.